and welcome to this very special for me, Downright Sports here live on Facebook, YouTube, which is it's great because the show originated and started on you. Well, no, the show actually originated and started on internet radio. But this concept, this version of the show, started on YouTube. But whatever. Welcome. If you've never listened to Downright Sports before, well, buckle up because it is a sports show for sports fans by a sports fan. The notorious sports critic Brent Reed. My wife hates this nickname, but I love it. The Monday through Sunday delight. I am here back again, and we're gonna, keep this ball rolling. 10 years ago yesterday, Downright Sports was launched, and today I celebrate 10 years of doing this same show over and over and over and over again. And quite honestly, we're going to talk a lot about how this show and stuff like that and what the future may hold. But for the most part, hey, let's get all the other stuff out the way. If you like the show and this is your first time listening, follow and like us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can download old episodes on anywhere major podcasts can be downloaded, Apple and Spotify, just to name a few. And of course, you need to download the DJ Chase radio app today because it is the exclusive home of Downright Sports, and it's the home of the creative. There's a lot of shows on there. You can listen to Downright Sports Monday through Fridays from 12 to 1, and perfect time, right? You're in the car, it's noon, you're either going to lunch or you're going to work or you're just waking up, and what better time to listen to a man rant about nothing? All right, so where do we start? Where do we begin? Well, I'm not going to go down the history of the show, but we're going to do thank yous and shout outs and all that good stuff at the end of the show because there's tons and tons of people to say thank you to, tons of people to say we appreciate them, tons of people to that have helped get this show going, that have helped make some of the sounds of this show. It's so critical and important. I want to thank them all, and I better not forget. If you're listening and you're watching, thank you, and thank you. So, 10 years of doing this show, and the show kicked off in 2015. A lot has happened in 10 years, and I spent all of today actually breaking down some of the biggest things to have happened, some of the biggest moments that have happened. So let's do it, shall we? Let's talk about it. Let's go into some of the biggest moments. And today, let's impact players. I have a list. So if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, Legal Pad, I filled this thing up today. I'm here to tell you. All right, let's kick it off. Well, how about this? Where were you when the Super Bowl was played against the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons? Who can forget? I know I didn't. The Atlanta Falcons made it to the Super Bowl for the first time since, 1998. And they were facing the red hot, the powerful juggernaut of Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And believe it or not, New England was trailing. The score was actually 28-3. And they went into halftime. The Falcons, led by Matt Ryan, they kept trying to, they wouldn't apply pressure. They didn't try to put the chokehold on New England. In fact, the images of their owner, Arthur Blank, was on the sidelines dancing and boogieing and moving like only old white men can do. And Tom Brady went in the locker room and Bill Belichick, and they drank that Bugs Bunny water, and they said, let's get it, and came back and won the game, giving them another Super Bowl, giving them another championship. What about LeBron? 2016, LeBron James, back with Cleveland. They lost the previous year, and then down 3-1, Golden State was prepared to put them away. The historical Golden State Warriors, who won 73 games with only 9 losses, with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, a team of Hall of Famers. Well, LeBron in Cleveland did not bat an eye. Excuse me, the excitement's got my throat dry. LeBron with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love would lead the team. J.R. Smith, Ahmad Shumpert, Tristan Thompson. You would think I was a fan of the team, but I'm not. I hate coughing in the middle of the show. So sad. I had to lubricate my throat. Pause. But Cleveland would come back, winning its only championship, its first championship. The city of Cleveland's first championship over 50 years. The franchise's first championship. LeBron made good on a promise, bringing a championship to Cleveland, and he did it against one of the greatest teams of all time. Who can forget in college football, the season LSU had, the historical season with Joe Burrow, Jamal Chase, and how they just dominated all college football. If you go to baseball, one of the bigger moments, how about this? You talk about a couple of firsts, right? So first, Cleveland wins its first championship. Well, later that year, that fall, after 108 years, the Chicago Cubs would win its first championship. That game is one of those games I remember where I was when it happened. I just came up from my mom's birthday and wanted to take her out to dinner, and there was a steakhouse. We thought it was a steakhouse up the street from where I now live, but where they lived at the time. And it wasn't a steakhouse. It was like kind of like low-key a dive bar. And we went there, and it was kind of cool because the bartender was like, he took the orders. The bar was packed. The game was on, and I really felt Cleveland was going to win that game. And my dad said put a quarter on it. And if you know anything about the Reedmen, we will bet on anything. But we don't bet big. Like, we're not putting $100. We'll put like 25-cent dollar bet, $5 bet. If we know we're confident, we'll throw a 10 spotter out there. But we bet, and I even doubled it, 50 cent pop. And we sat there and watched, and the Cubs came back and won the World Series after a rain delay, which made it even crazier. It's like the first World Series Game 7. It is to have a rain delay, and the Cubs would make history. We have soccer history, whether it was Messi completing his career arc, winning a third World Cup, winning the FIFA World Cup in an epic game versus France. How about a couple of surprises? An expansion team, just the Las Vegas Knights will win a Stanley Cup, one of the younger teams ever do so, kind of a la the Florida Marlins, the Arizona Diamondbacks, if you will, in that situation. So a lot. What about this event? If you guys can remember, I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. I watched that fight at Preston's house, and I really felt like, me and Preston might have been alone in the world. I really felt like Conor had a chance, and he looked. I think if Conor had 2 more years under the belt in fighting, Conor McGregor may have won that fight. It was competitive. It was sloppy. But the hype for it was entertaining, and it was kind of the beginning of that the Jake Paul celebrity fights, and is it real? Is it not real? It was kind of the beginning of that. So that's just some of the big events that happened in sports. I'm leaving out a lot, but that's just some of the big events that stood out to me in the last 10 years, and I think I did a show for all of them. Really, I really do. I think I did some type of recap in some form or fashion for every last one of them. Some moments, or not moments, but things that, people we have lost. And I'm going to go in a particular order because it does matter how we recognize this. But there were a lot of greats that we lost in the 10 years. And it's a Hall of Fame who's who. I'm going to start with O.J. Simpson. We lost him, it was last year. A guy who was honored, was held on shoulders when he played football, and then once he retired, and then obviously 1994 happens, and then all the skeletons in his closet just fell out, and took him from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and even doing 10 years in prison, real time. So it was kind of, it's sad. I mean, he's passed away, and he was a great football player. And outside of that, there's not much to say. Marvelous Marvin Hagler passed away in 2001, a former champion in the 80s. Some of the best fights that I wish I could have seen, but I wasn't. If I was born, I was barely born. We also lost Tom Seaver in 2020. Won the World Series with the Mets. That he was traded, and it made he basically got teary-eyed and cried because he did not want to leave the Mets. How about Vin Scully, a man whose voice I would go to bed to as time went on, because I would get the MLB Sunday ticket. And Vin Scully, I would listen to Dodger games in the summertime to go to sleep, because Vin Scully was like listening. It was better than any book on tape. Vin Scully's a guy I wish I could. Oh, hello, I can't even do it. Welcome everybody to the ballpark. I can't even do it. We lost Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. We lost Hank Aaron in 2021, Willie Mays in 2020 last year. Two of the, there's no ranking. There's certain guys you just don't put in ranking, because when you say Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, people just go, oh, them. Yeah, nah, no argument there. Unfortunate, we lost in 2022. We lost Pelé, who was a global icon in the world of sports. You think Messi, you think Cristiano Ronaldo, you think David Beckham was something. You guys know nothing about Pelé. Here's the thing. I know jack squat about Pelé because he stopped playing I think 15 years before I was born. But he was from Brazil. He played with the New York Comets. They were like a rock star team. Nobody knew anything about soccer when they opened up that professional league in America, but it was exciting to watch. My finger is swollen, so my ring, I made it work. I have one in there. I don't. I like wearing my wedding ring on the show. It's pretty cool. We lost in 2016, Gordie Howe. Come on. NHL, Gordie Howe. His name is synonymous with Gretzky and Lemieux and Hall. Like, it's the same thing. You don't put him on the list. You just go, oh, that guy. Yeah, he's great. He could get in. We would also lose a couple of guys while young. We would lose Demaryius Thomas, wide receiver of the Denver Broncos. He was 33 years old. Jose Fernandez in that terrible boating accident in 2016. He was 24 years old. Guys cut short in life, and it's never fun. We will see Franco Harris, another NFL great. He passed away in 2022. Jim Brown. We're back to that list. We're back to no list guys. Jim Brown. Oh, him. Yes. If kept playing, could Jim Brown was so great that people would have drafted him in his 60s. That's how great Jim Brown is. Jim Brown is so great and was so great. He's in 2 Hall of Fames, the NFL and lacrosse. That's right, kids. He was great at lacrosse at the University of Syracuse. Google it. We would see in 2024, Jerry West would pass away, the NBA logo. So for you young kids out there, Jerry West was the logo. And if you ever get a chance to see any of his clips, he actually could hoop. My throat is dry. I cannot wait for the first break. Take Jerry West out from being a great basketball player. How about a great executive? He helped build. Apologies. You know what's crazy on some old shows? You can catch me having a coughing fit. Facebook, YouTube, live radio, ain't nothing like it. I'm here to tell you right now. Jerry West, as great a player as he was, built the 80s Lakers. And when that ended, how about this? How about the early 2000 Lakers with Shaq and Kobe? He actually stole Kobe from the Hornets. Traded Vlade Divac for little Kobe Bryant. In 2023, we will lose Willis Reed, the captain. All you have to say is game in New York. If you're a true New Yorker, you say Game 7 in the Garden. You shouldn't have to say the Garden. You just have to say Game 7, and you get Willis Reed coming through the tunnel, limping, wins the tip off. Knicks beat LA for their first championship in 1970. It was crazy. It was exciting. In 2022, we would lose Bill Russell. In 2021, we will lose John Madden. Icons. That's the type of individuals these guys were. John Madden, not only a great coach, a Super Bowl winning coach, John Madden changed broadcasting forever. There were already personalities calling games. There were already personalities. Howard Cosell. This is Howard Cosell. Vin Scully. John Buck, the father of Joe Buck. Countless other guys. John Madden might have been the first analyst to take it to a whole nother level. John Madden was so big, he was so marquee, and in the words of Stephen A. Smith, he was box office. The spit goes everywhere. The Madden video game revolutionized not just sporting games, how about video games? Madden's video game, and I'm standing on this next to Super Mario, is the only game where people mark their calendar. My Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm not going to put his name out there, my Obi-Wan Kenobi would mark time off to get Madden. That's how impactful John Madden was, just not on the field, but off the field. A football savant. And then one of the smartest guys to go, hey, take my name and put it on a video game and let it become the biggest video game in the world. And then there were two. And one of them we lost when I started the show, actually. And I remember wall-to-wall coverage of his funeral. And this man, you don't think of, when you think of activism, when you think of sports, when you think of standing on your beliefs, especially in the days that we live today, Muhammad Ali stands head and shoulders above everybody. In 2016, we lost the greatest of all time. That word, the GOAT, gets passed around a lot. That's because you don't call Muhammad Ali the GOAT. You don't give him a nickname. You don't give him an abbreviation. No. You give him his true title, and that is the greatest of all time. And we lost him after his battle with Parkinson's disease. And then abruptly, I will tell you this story quickly. I was at work, and I got a phone call from my wife, and she asked me, hey, did you hear about what just happened? And I was like, I don't think that happened. I don't think the news is accurate. And then my mother called right after and asked the same question. And then I am not making this up. I may have gotten 5 or 6 calls to have me confirm this as if I worked for TMZ or ESPN. And then I kept checking Yahoo and I kept checking ESPN, and it was not reported. And then it came in. We lost Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Which is crazy. In 2020, we lost him and his daughter in a helicopter accident that, just took him from us. In 2016, the spring of 2016, just a few months after the show got started, I sat in the living room in Farmville, Virginia, with my uncles and Mike Miff, close friend of Mike Gould. Not sure if Tim Woodson was there or not. Tim, if you listen to this and you hear this, let me know if you were there. I'm not sure if Tim was there. But I remember sitting in the living room, and it was going to be Kobe's last game. They were facing the Utah Jazz. And I said, at that moment, Kobe's going to score 40 to 50 points. I said that. And I watched him put up 60 points in one of the greatest games, watching a guy in his last game. And I watched a lot of his games in his final years, and he limped and he struggled to score. He just was not the same guy. And it was almost as if he said, you know what? Tonight, I'm going to prove I'm that dude. And Kobe, wherever you want to rank him, and since his death, he's moved up a lot in rankings, which a lot of people tend to do. But without a doubt, when it comes to a competitor, and in that period of time, we had lost, and as far as retirement went, we lost Peyton Manning, Kobe Bryant, Derek Jeter, like all. And in the case of true competitors, guys who left it on the court, guys who left zero excuses, rain, sleep, shine, showed up unless they were literally unable to play, Kobe was it. And it's kind of sad because his death almost symbolizes truly the last of what he represented. And that was lace him up and shoot him up. Let's get busy. And like you gotta beat me, as you say 10 toes down, you gotta beat me. And Kobe Bryant, definitely his death shocked everyone and he was missed. Some other things happened. Little positive things. How about this? We witnessed just last year and the year before last, we witnessed a little bit of Caitlin Clark mania, brother. Ooh, yeah. One of my most viewed shows on YouTube is my top 10 WNBA segment, which back in the day was a lot of top 10 shows. But what made that show crazy is I spoke in the early days of the show the importance of what the WNBA needed. And then who would have thunk it that Caitlin Clark might have changed things. Now I'm not calling her the best player in the game. That would be irresponsible. But her impact in college basketball and then in the pro game, whoo boy, we got to see true Caitlin mania, brother. Ooh yeah. How about LeBron James passing the one and only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the all-time lead scorer? Yeah, LeBron did it. Now, he had no choice. He'd been playing basketball since he was 10 years old. So, I mean, it's only fair. And if you want to make the true argument, I will. And allow me to, in honor of my old co-host and how he would have handled this, it's apples and oranges. All right? Yes, I recognize he has the title. Yes, mazel. But all the guys on that list ahead of that LeBron went past played years in college. Not a year, years. Talking 3 to 4 years. So while LeBron entered the league at 18, 19 years old and was a shooting star right off the rip, you're talking about guys he surpassed. Like Jordan left the game twice and found himself in the top 5 of the list. I will, that I'm going to give him a little bit. Man, 3 years at UNC, comes to the league, takes some time off, comes back to the league, and finishes 5th all time, something like that. Interesting. How about Kareem? Kareem didn't even get to play his freshman year of college because that's not what they did. And he stayed in college for 3 seasons, was one of the greatest college athletes to ever play. That list again. Comes into the league, bounces around, has the most dominant, not the most, not the most, not one of them, no, the most dominant scoring weapon of all time, his hook shot, and, just added to the stats. So yes, LeBron being number 1, congrats. Good for you, buddy, but come on. Really? Kareem did it. You got to remember, Kareem got drafted in 68, something like that, 68, 69. There wasn't no three-point line. And then when the three-point line came in, Kareem ain't even shoot threes. LeBron James shoots threes. Come on. Just saying. Karl Malone ain't shooting no threes. Just saying. I had to take a shot at LeBron. That was like literally, is what the show was for so many years. How about Tom Brady? You know what? We're not going to go down memory lane. Let's get back to the list. I got a list for you. All right? We're going to do the Downright Sports top 10 best players in the last 10 years. Shall we? Are you ready? And then, and only then, we're going to wrap it up with the top 10 best teams in the last 10 years. Shall we? Are you ready? I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Sorry, I had to get that out of the system. Let's go. At number 10, WNBA great, the best player in the game. She's getting ready to win another championship. How about A'ja Wilson? No, thank you. What is it, 3 to 4 MVP awards? She's playing 0 games with y'all out there. She came to play. She's a cerebral assassin. She's the Triple H of this thing. All right, number 9. How about Simone Biles? One of the most decorated gymnasts of this time and of that time. 37 total medals. Get busy. Stop playing with them. At number 8, how about... Oh, I actually read you guys the wrong list. That was the pretend list. Sorry. All right, number 10 is really A'ja Wilson. At number 9, the new captain, Aaron Judge. What? Yes, right. How about the guy broke the all-time ALC home run record? How about that? How about he's hit 54 times? How about that? How about he was going to win a Triple Crown this year? How about that? How about him just single-handedly being one of the faces of Major League Baseball and solely the reason why the Yankees can win because of damn sure before their manager. At number 8, Simone Biles. I already read her stats. At number 7, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Do I need to read his stats? But I will. Back-to-back Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl championships, went to 4, 2 MVP awards, 3-time Super Bowl champion. The man puts up numbers. The man is unstoppable. He's so good, you can tell he's playing kind of loosey-goosey this year. At number 6, you can't keep him off the list. LeBron James. He won a championship for Cleveland. The man went to the finals 8 times in a row. He didn't win many, but he just kept. I mean, he literally was and still is an impactful player. He got a championship as ugly as it was with the Lakers. So you got to go LeBron. Should LeBron have won more MVPs in this period? Yeah, I agree. He probably should have gotten so. At number 5, my captain, no captain, Serena Williams. Why is Serena on this list? Well, how about this? I'm just simply put it, 319 weeks as the world's number 1. I'm going to leave it at that. At number 4, Katie Ledecky, another Olympian. Why? Well, Miss Ledecky in the 2016 Olympics, outside of what she had done previously, decided to add to her collection and won 5 medals and getting 4 gold. At number 3, Tom effing Brady. And you're like, what? Yeah, hear me out. So it's not just the comeback game against the Atlanta Falcons. It wasn't the fact that they would go back to the Super Bowl again. They did lose to the Eagles. It wasn't the fact that, he had more Super Bowl appearances than anybody. No. We'll put Tom on this list. And hear me out. Try 1, 2, 3 Super Bowl titles. The third one was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, he left New England, went to Tampa, and got him a ring and told him to suck it, and probably would have got another one if his team wasn't so hurt. He was still drunk off the boat. At number 2, the man from Japan. The man who does the man so nice he plays twice. Shohei Ohtani. You talk about a game changer. You talk about a man who's revolutionizing the game. You like Travis Hunter, Shohei does it better. Countless MVP awards. Won his first World Series championship. Shohei Ohtani. I have the numbers somewhere ahead of me. Hold on. Wait, Mr. Shohei. He is the... Check this out. Last year in the Dodgers, 54 home runs, 130 RBIs, 59 stolen bases. Okay, that's not impressive to you. How about in 2022, he won 15 games as a pitcher, ERA at 2.33, 34 home runs, hit 273 with 95 RBIs. That wasn't impressive to you. I don't know what to tell you. And at number 1 at the top of this list is Steph Curry. With Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors have proven and have done is impressive. These guys, he did not just change literally how the game is played, how it's orchestrated, how it's viewed and looked at. He has made it impossible for people to even emulate it. You look at what they did. They lost to Cleveland in 15-16, came back and won 16-17, won again in 17-18. Some years of struggle, and then without Kevin Durant, with an aging Klay Thompson, an aging Draymond Green. Well, they won the championship in 2001 and 2002. So, yeah, you got to put him at the top of the list. No question. No question. I have gone on a long time. I don't think I've ever done a segment this long in a very long time. But it's a special show. So you got to do that. Don't you? Let's do the top 10 teams. Let's just roll through it. Come on. Let's just roll through it, shall we? At number 10, the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 championships and 3 trips. Number 9, the Golden State Bulldogs. 2 titles and 3 trips. Excuse me. The Los Angeles Dodgers. 2 titles and 3 trips. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Back-to-back title winners and almost did it again last year. At number 6, the Kansas City Chiefs, 3 titles and 4 trips. At number 5, UConn Huskies in men's basketball, back-to-back titles, the first since Florida did it in the early 2000s. At number 4, the Las Vegas Aces, 2 titles and 3 trips, and may win their 3rd this year. At number 3, the Houston Astros, 2 titles and 3 trips. And not to mention countless playoff appearances, and they went to the American League Championship Series like a bunch of years in a row. At number 2, Alabama. I'm not reading off. They just killed everybody every year. I did have Clemson. I took them off. I did. At number 1, Golden State. Yeah, because of what they did. So that's a trip down memory lane. Holy crud. Do we have time for anything else? I'm sure I do. I'm going to make the time because I got some stuff to cover. If you've never heard the show before, well, it's normally not like this, but it's a special show, and you should go to TikTok and Instagram and Facebook to view it. Follow and like the show. Also download the DJ Chase Radio app. We're going to take a quick break because I need it because I've been running and gunning. YouTube and Facebook, we're going to come right back. And then we're going to touch on modern day stuff that actually happened in the present. We're going to talk about some stuff over the weekend. We're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? I actually wrote down the T's. Yeah, NFL and baseball, but I'm not actually. I changed that. We're going to talk Penn State. And should James Franklin be fired? Yeah. Segments are fun. Downright Sports, everybody. I need a sound effect. Serious as cancer. I was dancing. Let's do rolling.